Hello and welcome back. This video will just be a brief introduction to how to do some calculations using the MyStatLab StatCrunch applet. So we'll go through an example using histograms like we just saw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to page 49 in the textbook, and this is from section 2.1 on the frequency distributions, but I will use some of the data here. So for question 13, I can link to some data by clicking on the icon to the left here, and this is the data that is inside of the question. So if you scroll down, you can see that, okay, there's going to be lots and lots of data. And we can use this and create some histograms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to applets, and we can create a histogram right here, a histogram with sliders. So histogram with sliders, we need to select which column to work with. So I'll choose the first column, which is McDonald's lunch times. There's a few options here. We can create a title for our histogram if we wanted to print this out, and places to save this, where to put this on the screen. I'm just going to click compute without changing anything, and we have our histogram here. Now, the histogram is created sort of for us with a few things. So for instance, the starting point of the histogram is at 75, meaning that all of the data points should be 75 or greater. Now I can change this a little bit. I could make the starting point for the histogram, say 65. So the first class here will stretch from 65, and then you can see the bin width is going to be 25. So the first class will be from 65 to 65 plus 25, which is 90. I'm going to change it back to 75 since that's what I put it at originally. And then the bin width, which is the class size, I can change this as well. If I make the bin width too big, let's say 50, that means that each class size is going to be huge, and there will be fewer classes. If I make this too big, you can see that we're not really going to get any information. So this is as big as it can be made, 122.5, and there's only two classes. That doesn't tell us a whole lot of information. If I come down to where it was to begin with, at 25, this gives us some information, and it gives us a nice shape. Since there are a few things over here to the right, we can see that this distribution is skewed to the right. It has a right tail. Now, if I make the bins or the class sizes too small, you can see that we'll be given more detailed information, but the detail can be overwhelming. Here's a class size of 15, and if I go down to class size of 10, or even at 5, you can see that this is hard to look at and hard to read. It will give us more information if we have slightly larger class sizes. So we can go back up to 25 and see that this has enough classes that we can get some more detailed information, but also the classes aren't too small or too big when they start to hide information. And ultimately, how the graph looks is more or less up to you and how you want to display the data, but there are helpful things and unhelpful things, and hopefully by creating lots of graphs this semester we'll be able to learn which ones are helpful and which ones aren't.